Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your 2026 prediction reading. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Laura, aka Baby Curl Tarot. I'm a tarot reader, astrologer, and root worker, and I love doing monthly readings for all the zodiac signs here on YouTube, as well as some other fun content over on TikTok and Instagram. This reading is a little different. We are going to be going month by month, pulling some cards and taking a look at what the energy generally feels like for your 2026. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump right on into it. Keep in mind that this is a general collective reading, so not every message is going to resonate for every single Sagittarius out there. Please take what resonates, leave the rest behind. It may be a message for another Sagittarius if it's not hitting for you. And also, please don't try to excuse me. Please don't ever try to force a reading you see on the internet to fit your specific life, okay? Spiritual team, daily crystal inspiration. What messages do you have for the Sagittarius Collective for 2026? What messages do you have for the Sagittarius Collective for 2026? Okay, I have 3 decks here that I'm going to be pulling from, so give me just a little bit of time to shuffle the other 2 here. Spiritual team, Threads of Fate Oracle. What messages do you have for the Sagittarius Collective for 2026? What messages do you have for the Sagittarius Collective for 2026? Okay, let's get into the final deck, which is a tarot deck. Spiritual team, Divine Feminine Tarot. What messages do you have for the Sagittarius Collective for 2026? What messages do you have for the Sagittarius Collective for 2026? Oops, dang it, that was the second time this happened. When I've cut the deck and gone to pick up each part, like one card gets left behind on the table. Very interesting. All right, what's going on? Pulled a couple of cards to start off with the month of January. So your first card was Selenite. It says clear the clutter. Excuse me. We also have higher perspective. Okay. We have the King of Cups in reverse, which is really interesting. Yeah, January maybe feels a little, maybe a little cloudy for you guys in terms of like perspective, in terms of what you want. But it also feels like, I don't know, this King of Cups in reverse is kind of throwing me off. It feels like you guys may be having some, I don't know if resentment is the word, but it feels like a lot of you guys could be feeling not the most like positive individuals. And again, take what resonates. This isn't going to resonate for every single Sagittarius, but I feel like for those of you that need to hear this message, you guys are kind of like in this emotional state of, I don't know, pettiness, of manipulation. I don't know. And maybe this is like the type of people that you are coming in contact with. So again, take what resonates. If it doesn't feel like this is you, maybe this is people around you. So with that in mind, if this is people around you, you guys may be getting really clear about who in your life is for you or against you. And you guys may be getting rid of people, places, and things that are not conducive to a positive life. These types of people could be manipulative, emotionally manipulative, really incredible deceivers. Maybe this is someone that likes to pit you against another person, maybe at your job, maybe within your family or your friendship group, okay? This is someone who really gets off on, you know, toying with people's emotions, or, you know, making them feel a certain way to get something that they want. Does that make sense? So I definitely feel like this is more of people around you, but maybe for a very small group of you, this is you. Hopefully if you're watching my videos, you're not the first type that I brought up where it's you. And this is just more indicative of people around you that you need to get rid of and cut out of your life. All right, what's going on in February? Okay, we have Chrysoprase, allow yourself to receive. Love it. We have the Pillar. Love that. We have the Empress. Love this. February feels a lot more stable. It feels a lot more firm. It feels like you are establishing foundations. Even the word boundaries came up, but it just feels like this is you building the life, building the community that you deserve. Okay. The pillar definitely it talks about foundations to me. The Empress card talks to me about not only abundance, but just security and being stable. February is definitely giving the month, or giving the energy of you thriving. And you probably either receiving an abundance of opportunities, an abundance of security, of peace. You may be receiving from a certain community, like assistance, help in some way. I can see that being a thing too. You may feel uplifted by your coworkers, by your friends, by your neighbors, by your family. Like, it feels like Sagittarius is definitely being lifted up in some way. Okay. And just things are just going really well for you, essentially. And I feel like a lot of that has to do with who you're surrounding yourself with in February. Okay. So maybe getting rid of whoever you needed to get rid of in January really paid off and things are going really well. People are rallying around you. And it's just a much better place, February. All right, let's take a look at March. Okay, we have Unakite, live in the now. We have the Observer, okay. And we have the Hierophant. Very interesting. I feel like March is also like two sides of the same coin, having the Empress and the Hierophant here. Both are Taurus energy, which talks to me about stability and things not really changing. So not a whole lot of surprises, not a whole lot of like things throwing you off, which is really good. Things feel really, really stable. Things feel very clear. Things feel like the path ahead is cool. No issues, no bumps. Okay. I like this a lot. I feel like March is one of those months where you feel like you can maybe progress a little bit more, commit to certain things you've always wanted to do. Okay, so if we look at the Hierophant in the terms of maybe you being a college student, maybe you are, you know, I don't know, like looking at ways to improve your skills or, you know, your opportunities for scholarships or opportunities for mentorship, opportunities for internships, things like that. I feel like you guys could be committing to new opportunities, essentially, is what I'm getting. And I'm just using education as an example, so take what resonates. But I feel like you guys are you're very focused and you're very, like, you're taking things very, very seriously. Okay. And you're moving in a direction that is going to ultimately like benefit your future, whether that's a month from now or 3 years from now. I just feel like you're setting yourself up for something really great, something really wonderful, something that excites you, something that brings you a sense of fulfillment, maybe that fulfills your purpose in life or what you feel your purpose is in this life. And I feel like you're also not just like taking action towards these things, but you're also hyper aware of like moving pieces around you. So maybe you guys are seeing how your friends interact with certain things, or you're observing how they do in their industries if they're already like in the job market. Okay, maybe you're connecting the dots and saying like, wow, I really like how this person does this, or I really like how this theory or this perspective plays out into what it is that I want to do. And I really like, it's like you're picking up information as you go along, as you put yourself out there, as you explore. And it's all just information that you're taking in that you're, I think, eventually going to apply to your life, to your path, whatever, your work, your education. It's like, it's all pertinent information and you're just absorbing it in the best way possible. I feel like this is really giving like internship vibes. So some of you guys could just be students of life too. in the month of March. But let's go ahead and move on to April and see what comes up. Okay, April feels a little tricky. We have Iolite, shift your money mindset. All right, we have the Magi. Okay, and then we have Death in reverse. So whenever Death in reverse comes up, it is a little bit of a resistance for me. So some of you guys could be struggling to let go of something in order to make room for something new. So again, this could be an idea. This could be, maybe this is you struggling to see how being an entrepreneur can actually be way more beneficial for you in the long run. Okay, because shifting your money mindset is here, it feels like may have something to do with finances, okay? For some of you, it may be something as simple as like spending habits, recognizing, you know what, maybe I don't need to continuously buy designer brand things, and, you know, generic brand is actually just as good, if not better. And I'm saving a ton of money so I can spend my money elsewhere on things that I actually really want, or actually more beneficial to what it is that I'm trying to pursue or do with my life. Okay, so I feel like April is an opportunity to kind of check yourself and realign, but I do feel like there is maybe a struggle with that internally of like, damn, I really don't want to give this up. I really like this thing that I know I need to give up in order to move on to the next level, in order to level up. So there is a little bit of resistance I'm feeling from you guys. So just that's a heads up, okay? And some of you, again, may not resonate with that in the month of April. Maybe it comes in the month of March. Maybe it comes later in the month of May. But generally, it just feels like you guys are really struggling to let go of something. All right. Let's move on to the month of May. Okay, we have Angelite. Support is all around you. Love that. We have Speak Truth. All right, and then we have Temperance. I love Temperance. Temperance has been coming up a lot in other signs readings throughout the months. And really the key word or phrase, I guess, that I've been associating with Temperance for 2026 is flow state. We're reaching this flow state. We're reaching this sense of like peace with everything that's happening around us. We're figuring out our rhythm. We're figuring out the vibes, right? So for you, May, I feel, is that month of like, we're figuring this out. We're being honest with ourselves. We are, we're communicating in a way, or we are pursuing things in a way that just aligns with who we are on a core level. It aligns with our purpose. It aligns with what we want to do moving forward, with our education, with our career, with activism. I mean, whatever, insert thing here. But it just feels like you as your core self and what it is that you do and what it is that you put out into the world is just connected. It's fully connected. It's fully aligned. It's flowing easily. People understand where you're coming from, or you're just able to put out whatever it is that you're doing without a whole lot of roadblocks, a whole lot of challenges. It just seems to come naturally. It seems to flow really easily. It seems like it's also being received well in whatever spheres you are putting this out in. So whatever community, whatever market, let's say you're a business, whatever your target market is, whatever you are selling, people are loving it. People are picking up what you're putting down. Okay, people are working well with you. They want to help you. Okay, so a lot of people may be more inclined to like provide guidance or put you in places or connect you with people that are going to get you where you want to go. That's kind of the energy I'm getting for May. All right, let's get into June. What do we have? Ooh, I like June. I like June a lot. We have Venturing, create your own luck. We have Manifest, which is literally creating your own luck. And then we have the 10 of Pentacles. Oh my God. I mean, it don't get no better than this, in my opinion. It's like you're manifesting your ultimate dream life. And not just your dream life of like, yeah, I want 8 yachts and I want to live on the moon, like things that are like super far-fetched. It feels grounded in reality. It feels like I can achieve this. I can achieve even millionaire lifestyle. I don't think is that impossible if you do it right, if you have the right foundation to make that happen. Let's say you're a business owner, you could easily have $1 million business. That's not impossible to do with the right circumstances, right? So I feel like you guys in June are manifesting things that are putting you in the position to get this 10 of Pentacles. I mean, it's the ultimate card that represents security, and not only security for you, but security for people that come after you. I'm talking like your children's children's children. This is the representative of potentially like generational wealth or generational stability. Like this is maybe a business you can pass on to your kids or to other family members. Like this could be something that not only sustains you, but other people you care about. This is incredible. Talk about community. I feel like community is going to be really important to you guys in 2026. And maybe not just, maybe just even the first half of 2026. But I feel like the theme is the people around you are going to play incredibly important roles in you getting to where you want to be. And then also there's a sense of you giving back, or at least providing the opportunity to other people to make their dreams a reality, to be secure. Okay, so in whatever way that looks for you, this doesn't even have to be about business and finances. This could be about maybe like health. Maybe you're establishing health, health routines that are going to benefit your family or people around you, or, allow you to have children. Maybe this is you becoming a doctor and you're providing services that are going to save hundreds, if not thousands of lives. I mean, it's just really the 10 of Pentacles to me talks about ripple effects, right? So whatever it is that you're doing is going to have positive ripple effects that are going to affect more than just you. That's intense. That is intense, but so cool to think about. That's probably one of the most profound energies I've felt in a reading that I've done so far. Okay. That is really cool. June is going to be really, really cool. I feel like May and June in particular, really cool energies. I love it. All right, let's get into July. July feels a little bit stickier, and I feel like this has been consistent across multiple readings. July and August has a bit of like a funkiness to it. I don't know if there's a Mercury retrograde that's happening around this time. I know there's one in Pisces like around February and March, so it makes sense to have another one like towards the end of spring or like summertime. And I feel like July might be one of those months that we have it in. So we have appetite, and it says get out of your comfort zone. We have transmute, okay. And then we have this 9 of Wands in reverse. Yeah, the 9 of Wands in reverse is always such an interesting card to me, because it's one of those cards of like, you're definitely burnt out. You're definitely burnt out. Even in the upright, you're definitely burnt out, but you're at least hanging on by the thread that's like strong enough to keep you going, even if you're on like, you're running on E. Okay. But when it's in the reverse, it's like you've maybe let this burnout consume you and you've almost given up. Okay. So for some of you, you guys may be facing like, dang, how do I keep going? How do I really keep going here? Or there could be something that is challenging you to think past like, oh, this is it. This is where the line ends. This is it. It was a good run, but here we are, we're done. I think that Spirit is asking you to really take a look at like options maybe you didn't consider in terms of getting past this particular challenge, because I feel like there is kind of a way out of this. Yeah, this is a harder one. This combination of cards is really hard to kind of understand. What I also feel for the Nine of Wands in reverse, I don't know. I'm not getting anything else with this Nine of Wands in reverse, but I do feel like there's a moment where you might feel like giving up, or you feel like it's too much, like the weight of what you're doing is too much. I feel like I keep coming back to community for you guys, because the Knight of Wands can talk about like your ancestors having your back when it's in the upright. At least that's how I learned it. A lot of you may feel like you don't have the support of your community around this time, which also may be feeling like a specific low point for you. But there's something here about continuing to push through, to keep searching for answers, to keep searching for other methods, other means, other ways out. Okay. But July definitely feels like a little bit of a lower point for you guys, okay? It's going to look different for all of you. It's going to feel different for all of you. Hopefully it's not something that resonates with all of you, but that's just the energy I'm getting from these cards. I want to see what August has in store, and maybe that'll kind of give me some more insight into July. Interesting. Okay, we have Shungite, detox your life. Okay, we have the underworld. And we have the Moon card. All of these are things, I mean, talk about the darkness. Like, this is telling me you are in maybe a darker place, mentally, emotionally, physically. Sorry, I'm gonna put my leg up here. It definitely feels more isolated. You guys might be isolating yourselves a little bit. You might be focusing on being on your own a little bit more. You're not as social. You're not as present in the outside world, right? And I think the moon is definitely indicative of like really going into like the darker aspects of ourselves, the more hidden aspects of ourselves. This can talk about our fears. This can talk about our emotions, our dreams, like our deeper dreams that maybe we don't talk about or think about because we're like, that's not realistic, or that's really dark and I don't feel like anybody should want that. I feel like there's definitely potentially a purging going on in August, and maybe even this is the result of what happens in July, but there's a deep, deep, deep purging of emotions, of thoughts, of urges, of whatever. But I feel like all of this is done behind the scenes, away from other people. So other people aren't going to witness you doing any of this. This is all stuff that you're dealing with on your own. It is a little bit secretive, but not in a way that's like, oh, you're fucked up for this. This is just like, this is nobody's business. This is nobody's business. Nobody needs to know about this stuff. This is personal. Okay? Which can feel isolating. It can feel like, damn, like I really don't have anybody to talk to about this. I would definitely say if you are able to afford a therapist, you're going to want one, I think, around this time, because of how isolating this can potentially feel. Some of you guys may be able to handle this better than others, but for those of you where like you really struggle with, you know, depression or like mood disorders of any kind, like this could definitely be a month where I see you guys going into a little bit of a depression. So just, you know, if you are prone to that, I would just be really careful. I would be really cognizant of like making sure that you stay out of that. Okay. But otherwise, I just feel like this is a month where like you are really focusing on yourself, and getting rid of things or purging things that have either been affecting you lately or have been affecting you and you never really dealt with. Okay, it's going to be different for everybody, so just take how it resonates for you. All right. What do we have? We're going to move on to September. What's going on in September? Make sure. Okay. September. Okay, feels a little bit better in September. I do like this. We have fluorite, find peace within. Love that. We have paradox. Okay, and I believe paradox means where two things can be true at the same time. And then we have the Six of Wands. To me, this talks about becoming more at peace with something about who you are, a core identity, a core dream, a core desire, something like that. It feels like you are, yeah, you're finding peace in that. And recognizing like, I'm able to be this as well as this. I can be this person and also want these things or want to do these things. Like there's nothing wrong with me. I feel like Sagittariuses and Aquariuses in particular, you guys are pretty good about not really giving a shit about what people think of you. Maybe that's not something that resonates for every single Sagittarius, but I feel like this is kind of a win for you guys in terms of like embracing who you are, what you want to achieve, whatever, or what you've been through even. Okay. And I feel like you guys, there's like a new sense of confidence. There's a new sense of like, I got this. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm not broken, whatever. And I just feel like you guys come out of July and August and into September into a much better place. Okay. So like I said, again, just really make sure you're doing everything to get the support you need. If you are someone that tends to deal with depression and whatever, because I want to make sure you get to this September energy and not try and fight this on your own because sometimes trying to do it on your own can prolong this or, you know, keep you from achieving this or coming out of this the way that we want to, right? Okay, let's go into October. Let's see. Oh, I love this. Ooh, okay. So October, we have Rainbow Obsidian, Heal Your Heart. We have Nature. We have the Queen of Cups in reverse. Interesting. So we started with the King of Cups in reverse in January. Now we have a Queen of Cups in October. Oof. Is this more people that are... is this more people that we have to deal with, or is this an aspect of ourselves? Very interesting. I feel like Scorpios got this card too, but they got it in November, which is your season. So it's interesting that this is coming out around, you know, the tail end of Libra and the beginning of Scorpio season. Interesting. Okay. There could be something there for you guys if you want to go check out the Scorpio reading. I know these ones are longer, but if you feel called to, I would at least check out the November reading because I think that's where this card came out, this Queen of Cups in reverse. Okay. But for me, I feel like the Queen of Cups in reverse could talk about how you guys are feeling internally. This could be a need for you guys to recalibrate emotionally. Recalibrate in terms of like... you really choosing to love yourselves? Possibly. This also could allude to some Sagittarius being a little bit jaded and being a little bitter and being a little... yeah, I mean, not really being too kind or open to other people. I'll just say that. It's kind of the energy I'm getting. So October could be a month where like you learn to come to terms with certain things, certain feelings, again, certain things that happened in the past, coming to terms with like your feelings about things, recognizing like, okay, I need to let this go because this is starting to affect other areas of life. This is starting to affect relationships with family, with friends, coworkers, whatever. I just feel like there needs to be a little bit of a reset. And there needs to be a little bit of like checking ourselves potentially if that's what you guys are resonating with. This might be a month where you need to check yourselves and kind of like let go of some things, maybe emotional baggage that we're holding on to that is, you know, not conducive to starting fresh and moving in a different direction. Okay, what do we have for November? We have rose quartz, open up your heart. A lot of heart references. Okay, we have the warrior. And we have the 3 of cups in reverse. Okay. Interesting. Some of you guys may feel really betrayed. I feel like the second half of 2026. I would say from July up until November, I'm getting this theme of, and I said even community would be like a big theme in your life. I feel like some of you guys may feel betrayed by certain people within a community. Again, it started that way in January even, like certain people or one person in particular, but now I feel like July onward, this is multiple people that you potentially feel betrayed by. And that came up in the 9 of Wands in reverse. You guys don't feel supported by a community. You know what this is giving me? This is giving, like, if you're a content creator and all of a sudden, like, and it doesn't even have to be your community. It could be a different community out there. Maybe you guys are feeling attacked by a different community online. And it's been really, really tough on you, like, emotionally. You may have even be feeling attacked by your own community, okay? But take what resonates. It feels like this is all a continuation from July. And I feel like you guys are, between October and November, you're really struggling to find that sense of trust and being more open to a community that maybe did you wrong in the past. Or just being open to finding a new community in general. Because you're so scared that it's going to happen to you again, right? So there could be a lot of fears, there could be a lot of resentment, there could be a lot of like walls up potentially for you guys when it comes to connecting with new people, new groups of people in particular. And Spirit is really trying to urge you in October and November to like really work through all of that fear, that vulnerability issues that you're dealing with, because they want you to move past this. I think they're trying to say like this isn't the end for you, but we need you to kind of let go of this. Easier said than done. I'm not a therapist, I'm just a tarot reader. I highly recommend getting a therapist because this feels really heavy for a lot of you guys. And I feel like especially October and November, there's going to be a lot of hang-ups that may be coming up that you need to deal with that are going to be more difficult than actually going through like the events themselves, like in July and August, you know what I mean? The aftermath can sometimes be the most damaging because you're now carrying that weight into new experiences and new opportunities, which is ultimately what we don't want. All right, let's move on to December. December feels a little bit nicer, okay? Hopefully we're ending on a better note here, but it says pink opal, be kind to yourself. We have play. And we have the 8 of Swords in reverse, and I really like to see this card come out because I feel like you are letting go of those walls. You're letting go of that fortress that you built around you to protect your heart, to protect you emotionally, to protect your finances, whatever. And I feel like you're starting to let those walls down and be a little bit more open. Be a little bit more open. Maybe even like just being in a better mood in general. Like I feel like there's a lot of like resentment and anger and like I don't know if judgmental, but maybe cynical is the right word. Pessimism even in October and November. And I feel like December is a lot lighter. I feel like this is where things start to improve. Yeah, and I feel like this is gonna be a really good month to end off on in terms of like, you know, looking forward to 2027, being open to what's going to come in 2027, and being open to trying again. Okay. and making some sort of progress in this area. Definitely a heavier second half of the year, but I'm glad that we kind of ended on a lighter note, because this screams to me potential. This screams like things are potentially going to get better. Things are looking up. Sagittarius is going to be in a better place. And I love to see that. I don't ever love seeing anybody in a place where they're not, you know, living to their fullest potential and not able to trust. I definitely want that for you guys. All right, Sagittariuses, that is what I'm seeing for you guys. Please leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed the reading. Maybe come back to this video throughout the year, and I would love to hear more about whether this stuff ends up, you know, manifesting, resonating, seeing how things play out, if they end up playing out for you guys. Yeah, definitely leave me comments. I would love to know more. But definitely don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos from me in the future, and maybe share this with another Sagittarius if you feel like they would benefit from hearing some of these messages. I also do some other really fun content over on TikTok and Instagram if you want to see that other type of content. Handles are below in the description box. And that is also where you can reach out to me if you want to schedule a personal one-on-one reading with me until I get my website set up. As always, though, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate the support. I hope to see you guys at the next reading. Until then, please take care of yourselves. Bye.